guys, you're watching an episode of Real Reviews. I'm Real Klein, and today I'll be reviewing the first and second episode of Roswell, New Mexico. Not to get confused with the original Roswell, which came out 20 years ago. My roommate's looking at me like I'm crazy. You're eating Cheez-Its in bed, so you're the crazy one.
You're talking to no one. You're the crazy
People
one.
are gonna watch this video. What do you mean? Okay, anyway. I had so much to say about the pilot episode, but I'm kind of forgetting a lot now because it was like a week ago or something. I remember that everything was bad. The only good thing was that Michael Trevino, I hope that's how you correctly say his name, he exudes the Kyle character. They, like, when he played Tyler in Vampire Diaries, did I say the Vampire Diaries? Yeah. Tyler and Kyle, they have like the same kind of energy, in my opinion. So like that made sense. And there are some actors, I don't want to say names, who like every role is kind of the same character, and like they can do that character and it's okay. But I know Michael Trevino can do like multiple kind of characters, but he just does this character very well. So he was like the only good thing about the pilot I remember. About the casting, the other parts, I think Jeannie, I don't know how to pronounce her name, the one who plays Liz, she's very beautiful. Like, I think she's good for the role. Like, I think myself, a lot of like main leads for females, they're very skinny, like tall girls, and like that's just not realistic. That's not me. I'm not skinny, I'm not overweight, I'm like sort of in the middle. I'm like healthy and I'm normal, and she has that body where she's like normal, like it's, and I like that because I feel more connected to her in a certain way. Also, I didn't realize this before, but I'm forgetting the name of the guy who plays Max, but he has a kind of the same look in his eyes that Jason Beer has. So I didn't really start realizing that until like later on, that it's like the same look in the eyes. They might even have like the same color eyes, I don't even know, but it's the same look, and I like that. So obviously the first Roswell was aliens, but this one has like cowboys, and I know that like Max Evans a deputy and he's a hat on, but they're like making him such a cowboy thing, which like Max in the original was telling like that he has like leather coat, and he was always just like so awkward just standing there like, I don't know how to stand, but I'm in love with Liz. So it's just weird. My biggest problem with the show, so they don't have Kyle's dad, which makes sense. I was like, it'd be so right if they combine those two characters, right, into one, where it's like Kyle, but he's the cop, he's the sheriff. He doesn't have to be a sheriff, he could be the cop like Max is. And they didn't do that. They made Max the cop, which doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. I think I'm starting to realize maybe it would make sense if Max was a doctor, which Kyle is, and it doesn't make sense. They could have done that so well, having Kyle be the sheriff. And that's the whole problem with that, the fact that she got shot. Okay, so obviously for reasons which I don't understand, because I'll get into it, but I don't understand why they shot her in the shoulder and not in the stomach like she was in the original. Like, why would you change that? Like, there's no reason to change that. And I actually kind of like the scene where in the first episode where Kyle and Liz were hooking up, because it kind of felt realistic to me. And he had definitely like seen up her shirt, like if you were worried about that. But I also don't know why it's like weird coloring. I don't even know. Anyway. Oh wait, yeah. So going to the whole point of her getting shot where people were around is that it creates suspicion. All this stuff, like now they're investigating Max, and now Max is a deputy, so they're not investigating him. That's the whole point, is that he has to keep the secret. Like, and it's not like this whole new show, it's not about like keeping the secret about the aliens or finding out like who they are as people. It's just like this other mystery about like how Liz's sister died, which she didn't have a sister in original. And it's like every other show where it's like, oh, trying to find out the murder of my sister, when this would have been so great, and like trying to like hide the fact that we're aliens, but learn more about like why we're aliens. And that's what I realized today also, is that they're not kids anymore. And the whole point of the original, when you're a teenager, you go through this point where you're trying to find out who you are, and so it's really prevalent where when Michael's like looking and like searching, and he's like so wants to like find his home and his people, and that's so prevalent in teenage years. But now that they're older, it's like lessened. So I guess it like, but I don't know, it just makes me so mad. And so then in the original one, they had to like keep suspicion off Max, and there's this whole thing in the episode. But then in the first episode, like nothing really happened. There was just like this party that they went to because there was a reunion, but there was no real suspicion. Except I don't know who this guy is who's talking to Kyle. So I totally knew they were gonna make Alex gay. Like I saw it coming. I was like, but making Michael bisexual, I did not see coming. And I know this is making a lot of fans mad because Michael and Maria, they were so great. Oh my god, so great. So I agree, and I like, now I'm like, oh, kind of like Michael being like bisexual. Like I can kind of see it, like maybe. But I hate when they just like, all these shows, they're like, oh my god, we need to have gay people. So they just like make a gay kiss, and like they just throw in the gay couples to just be like, here's a gay couple. But something that Supernatural does really well, even though they're not canon yet, is like having this like long waiting romance that's taking years. And like obviously they're not going to do that, but they could have done something where like they like start developing feelings, but like Michael's trying to push it away because he's an alien and because maybe he doesn't even know he's bisexual, and then later on they like fall in love, but you just immediately had them kissing. I'm like, no. The whole Liz and Max thing was kind of, it was fine in the first episode, but then the second episode, I don't know, like I lost the connection feeling them at the end when she was just like, I don't feel it anymore. I just don't know. And then he like slept with Riley's character. Like it's the whole The Vampire Diaries came over. It's totally like that now. I don't really see the point of her character. Then at the end I was like, am I starting to ship Liz and Kyle? Like I actually think Liz and Kyle would be better in the show. Like I'm starting to see it. Like they have that chemistry, kind of more than Max and Liz. Definitely feel like they don't know what to really do with Michael and Isabel, so they're just having them be like, oh, we're worried about Max, which it's not really giving them storylines. Also in the first episode, I totally knew that Michael and Alex were gonna kiss, because when Michael had a few scenes with Isabel and Max, but when one character has only another scenes with another character that episode, you know they're gonna kiss them. And I like totally saw it coming because I can see this stuff a mile away. This is a long video, okay. So my thoughts on this series, basically, also another thing, Cadley and Mackenzie, I think is her name, who's the creator, she tweeted that like I would never kill a gay character, and I was like, first I'm like, what? And then I remember because Alex died in season 2 in the original Roswell, and that was because Colin Ford wanted to like be in a movie, and so he's like, hey guys, can I do this movie? So they were like, okay, but we're gonna kill off your character. So she's saying, oh, I would never kill him, which I'm like, do people really care about that? Like, but okay. Anyway, but yeah, the series as a whole, I feel like she really wanted to play in this whole like racism and like border thing, which I'm like, I'm cool with. Like, yeah, make it times now, like, yeah. So, but then she was like, in order to do that, I need to have her sister be killed, and people would be blaming on that. And so because of that, she had to like revolve it around this thing. But when you do that, it like doesn't work. There was just so much I also had still to say about the pilot, but I'm just forgetting a lot of it now. So like in the original, Liz told Maria like literally right away what happened. And this one, Maria has no suspicions. It seems like they're disconnected. Also, like, Alex, Maria, and Liz were really close in the original, and they had no scenes together in the first episode. This episode, they had a scene together, but it was like, oh, I haven't seen you so long. But I just didn't feel the connection between them. It was off. It just feels weird that they're older and they just, like, don't really know about, like, all this alien stuff, and they're still dealing with it, even though it's not really showing that they're dealing with it. But in the original, because they were teenagers, it makes sense. I don't know, it's really hard to do a show where it's about characters trying to be who they are and discover who they are when they're not teenagers. Anyway, I'm gonna still keep watching just because I am. It feels, I don't know, I don't really like it. But, and it hasn't been getting that much, like, fans and stuff as Legacies has, which I will talk about when I make a Legacies review. Guys, thank you guys for watching my finally done a review. This episode's gonna be long, but it's Row Climb with Row Reviews, reviewed Roswell, and thank you, bye.